Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scripture in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritual activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have the complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Can you please go ahead with your introductions, please?
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Mataji, please accept Mama Visatis, All goes to Srila Prabhupada, all goes to Guru Maharaj, this is Shama Guri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shama Gauri Mataji, Danvas Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Danvas Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna Kumari Mataji, Danvat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. And Danvat pranams to all the devotees on the call. This is Haridas from Missouri City, Texas Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Harita Mataji, Danvas Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Is anybody else would like to introduce themselves? Mataji, I think Prabhuji is not joined yet. We'll continue our chanting, Mataji, for some time.
Sure, Mataji, sure.
And then we'll start recording. Okay.
Yes, Mataji. Prabhuji is coming.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. There is some more time, Mataji, 4 minutes there. Yeah. Om Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vrashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurivani Pracharnya Vrasesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshadharnya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram. Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Ram. Hare Krishna, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram. Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna, Ram. Hare 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 Krishna. Hare Krishna, Ram. 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can
Jai
we do introduction?
Mataji.
Prabhuji is coming.
Welcoming to the Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Haridas Thakur Prabhuji. Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 16th chapter, verse number 31 and 32. Let me give a brief introduction of His Grace Haridas Thakur Prabhuji. His Grace Haridas Thakur Prabhu is an engineering graduate, currently serving as a vice president at the Swadesh multinational company with 28 years of corporate experience. Prabhuji has been practicing Krishna consciousness from the past 22 years and the disciple of His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj. Regularly conducts Bhagavad Gita Saptas and serves as a Bhakti Shastri teacher. This is the brief introduction of Prabhuji. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Ram Hare 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 Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavats Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'll hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, all the devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you, all devotees, for giving me opportunity to enlighten myself about the topics of Srimad and about the pastimes of the Lord. Thank you very much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishnaya Vasudevaya. Devaki Nandanaya Cha. Nanda Gopakumaraya. Govindaya Namo Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chayeva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nasya Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nastiki. So I will share my screen. Hare Krishna. So hope my screen is visible now.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Just a minute. And this verse, 8:16:31. I hope this is visible now.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So this is the word from 8th canto, 16th chapter, and 31 and 32 are the verses that we have to read today. I read it. Namod Sirshini Tripade Chatusringaya Tantave Saptahasta Yajnaya Trividyatmani Namaha. Translation: I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have two heads, that is, Prani and Udayani, three legs, that is, Savantraya, four horns, that is, the four Vedas, and seven hands, the seven chandas, such as Gayatri. I offer my obeisances unto you, whose heart and soul are the three Vedic rituals, Karma Kanda, Gyan Kanda, and Upasana Kanda, and who expands these rituals in the form of sacrifice. Next verse is this: Namah Shivaya Rudraya, Namah Saktidharaya Cha, Sarva Vidyadhipataye Bhutanam Pataye Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, Lord Shiva or Rudra, who are the reservoir of all potencies, the reservoir of all knowledge, and the master of everyone. Purport is one-line purport given by Srila Prabhupada. It is a system for one to offer obeisances unto the expansion or incarnation of the Lord. Lord Shiva is the incarnation of ignorance, one of the material modes of nature. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunamilitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Sri Gurudina Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Vanchakalpataruhisha Kripa Sindhuvyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I will just recapitulate a little bit from where we are coming to this chapter or to this verse. In the previous chapters, we would have studied the churning of the milk ocean. The milk ocean churning, the first item that emanated from the churning of the milk ocean was the halahal poison. And it was very dangerous, as if it will, finish the whole creation. Therefore, the demigods, on the advice of Lord Vishnu, they approached Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva drank the poison. Then other various items emanated from the churning of the milk ocean. The final item that emanated was the nectar for which the milk ocean was being churned. As soon as Lord Dhanvantari appeared, the demons immediately snatched the pot of the nectar from the Lord Dhanvantari's hands, and they starting running here and there, and they started behaving like dacoits among themselves. The demigods were thinking that they will distribute the nectar among themselves at least. But the demons were thinking that they will not give it to even the demons. Every demon was thinking that I will drink is on my own. Aham purvam, aham purvam, aham. First I will drink, first I will drink. So when these demons were almost out of control, then Lord Vishnu took the form of Mohini Murti. And Mohini Murti, the Lord deprived the demons from nectar and gave all the distributed all the nectar among the demigods. So some argument ensued there, and as such, a very big battle, fierce battle ensued there on the bank of Milk Ocean. And since the demigods had become quite powerful now, therefore, therefore they defeated the demons. Many demons were killed, and many were so badly injured that their bodies were badly mutilated and they could not be used further, and therefore they were, they had to leave the body. But some whose bodies were still in a position to be reused, they were revived to life by Sukracharya, by his Sanjeevani Vidya. They were brought to Hastachal and they were revived to life. So, after this, Indra took the heaven, reins of the heaven, and the demons, they approached Sukracharya. Sukracharya, they surrendered to Sukracharya and asked as how can they again, get the position of Indra or the heavenly planet. So Sukracharya engaged them in the worship of, Sukracharya engaged some Bhragu Brahmins of the Bhragu lineage, and Bali Maharaj, they started, performing some yagnas, and this yagna is known as Vishwajit Yagna. So this Vishwajit Yagna, when it was completed, then from this fire of the yagna, a chariot, horse, and a flag, a bow, and some arrows, along with the shield and you know armor. It appeared for Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj accepted all this. Prahlad Maharaj gave a never fading garland to Bali Maharaj, and thus empowered Bali Maharaj after taking blessings from Prahlad Maharaj and from Sukracharya and from Brahmins. He proceeded to attack heaven. As soon as the demigods saw Bali Maharaj's prowess, he knew that he has no way to fight and he could not win, and therefore he fled from there. And Indra approached Brihaspati. Brihaspati Dev advised him that currently the situation was very much favorable to to Bali Maharaj, to the demons, and there is no way that you can win over them. Therefore, the best part will be to hide them yourself from there. Therefore, Indra and other demigods disappeared from the heavenly planet, from the heaven. They disappeared from there. And now the control of heaven was in the hands of Bali Maharaj. He was occupying the post of Indra. So there was no demigod now. And the mother of the demigods, that is Aditi, she was very much, in sorrow, in morose condition because her sons, they were not there. She was feeling separated from them. And therefore she was very morose. Kashyap Muni, after a long duration of trance, when he returned to ashram where Aditi was staying, Aditi is Mata of Adityas, that is the demigods, and Diti is Mata of the demons. They two are the sisters and the daughters of Daksha, and their husband is Kashyap Muni. Thus, the demons and the demigods, they are cousins. So Aditi was very much in morose. And when Kashyap Muni returned to the ashram, he saw very inauspicious signs. And he started speculating as what could the reason. And when we met Aditi, he just inquired with her. Aditi was very much morose. Evam putreshu nasteshu dev mata Aditi tadha. Rite trivistape deti paryataptanatmas. Evam putreshu nasteshu dev mata Aditi tada. Then when her sons disappeared from the heaven, the mother of the demigods, Aditi, Rite Trivistape, Paryataptanatvat. She was lamenting as an orphan person would lament. And Kashyap Muni started speculating as what could be the reasons for this devastation that is occurred to the ashram. So Kashyap Muni said, was it like that he could not welcome any guest at home? That this inauspicious thing has happened? That your sons had to leave this kingdom of evil? Was it like this? And Kashyap Muni is telling, Grahesu esvatitha na archita salaliyat yad niryanti te nunam feruraj grahapma. In those houses where the guests are not welcomed even with a glass of water, those houses or homes are compared with the holes of the jackals in the fields. So when a guest comes, this is to be understood that he has to be treated as good as the God himself. He has to be given all the respect, all the good welcome he has to be given. The same thing we learn in the fourth canto also, where the four Kumaras coming in the assembly of Prathu Maharaj, and their four Kumaras are saying, Adhana apite dhanya sadhva graha vedana. No, Prathu Maharaj is saying, in fact, when four Kumaras came there, Prathu Maharaj was so pleased and he pleasingly welcomed the four Kumaras. And Prathu Maharaj is glorifying the benedictions or the benefits of worshipping the saintly persons or the guests in houses. He says, Adhanapte dhanya sadhva graha medana, yat graha arvar bhumatan isur amra. Those houses which are even devoid of all kind of prosperity, they become full of prosperity when guests in those houses are welcomed with, place to sit, with a glass of water, or with other facilities. On the contrary to this, Vyal alay dharmavai tes arik takhil sampada yad graha tirth padi padati vivarjita. On contrary to this, a house may be full of all kind of prosperity, but if the guests in those houses are not welcomed properly, then those houses are said to be the roots of those trees in which snakes live. So, in the fourth canto, we see those houses where the saintly persons or even the guests they are not welcomed properly, irrespective of or despite having all kind of material opulence, they are said to be the houses of the snakes. And here, Kasyap Muni is saying that Grahisu Esatithya Narchita Salaliya, those houses where the guests are not welcomed with a glass of water, Yadiniryantitte Nunam Feruraj Grahapma. Certainly, those houses are like Feruraj Graha. Feruraj means like houses of the jackals. So he was speculating like this. Kashyap Muni, could you not take proper care of any guest? Is it because of this inauspicious thing has happened? What is the reason? So Aditi narrates the whole narration there. She tells the whole story, whole episode, how it happened. And seeing the morose condition of Aditi, Kashyap Muni is very much surprised. And he says, oh, how surprising it is, how astonishing it is that people who are attached to the family, body, and house, how much bewilderment they have, how much bewilderment is there in their minds due to the Maya Sakti, external energy of the Krishna. Because I'm seeing my wife is so morose, so much in disappointment, so much of in sorrow, because her sons are not here. This is a very pitiable condition for all the grahasthas. How people become attached. And same thing Prahlad Maharaj sees in Bhagavatam. Kagrahis puman saktam atmanam ajitindriyai. Isne pasai dhanam bagdam usahe vimochitam. A householder person's situation is very, very pitiable. Very, very pitiable. Because there's so many attachments. There's so many attachments a householder person has that it is very difficult for him to free himself from these attachments. Attachment with the wife, attachment with the sons, attachment with the property, with the position in the society, and attachment with the in-laws, then his own family, and so many extended friends and families and relations, very strong attachments. So kagya his praman saktam atmanam vijitindriya. A person who is devoid of any sense control, for him it's very difficult to free himself from the ropes of bondage. You know, It's very, very difficult to free him. So same thing, Prahlad Maharaj is saying. So Kashyap Muni decided to impart some, spiritual knowledge to Aditi so that she can get some freedom from this suffering. So he imparted some instructions about spirit and soul, spirit and matter, spirit and matter, about Sat and Asat, about the temporary and permanent things to Aditi. He gave a very big lecture to Aditi, but still he was saying that there was no marks of relaxation on her face. She was still in a very morose condition. Then he asked, "What you want?" She said, "In any case, I want my sons to be back here. Nothing else can satisfy me. It's very nice. You gave me good knowledge, good instruction, good provision, but somehow I want my sons back here. What I have to do? Let me know." So there, Kashyap Muni is advising that it is only the worship of Lord Vishnu or Lord Vasudev that can fulfill one's all desires. Savidhasati kaman haridin kampana amoga bhagavad bhakti naitara itmatimam. There is no doubt about one fact that anybody who worships the Lord Vishnu or Lord Vasudeva, who is Haridin Kampana, who shows all mercy on the fallen people, anybody who approaches him, the worship of Lord Vishnu is amogha, infallible. For sure, it will give some return. It will give the return. That is, it will fulfill one's desire, and therefore you worship Lord Vishnu. Aditi asks, which way should I worship Lord Vishnu? There, Kashyap is advising by Payovrata. Payo means milk, by observing fast on, you know, just milk only. So this current chapter is describing Payovrata. Kashyap Muni is describing Payovrata to Aditi. This fasting is done in the month of February and month, that is Magh Mas in Hindu calendar, in the month of February and March. And this is for 12 days in the bright moon days. And it is only, fasting is done only on the milk. But when one is observing this fasting, then these prayers are to be chanted. This is one of the prayers which we are reading today. So what this prayer says? Let's read it now. This prayer says, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have two heads, that is Prani and Udayani, 3 legs, 7 Triya, 4 horns, the 4 Vedas, and 7 hands, the 7 Chandas, such as Gayatri. I offer my obeisances unto you, whose heart and soul are the 3 Vedic rituals, Karma Kand, Jnana Kand, and Upasana Kand, and who expand these rituals in the form of sacrifice. So actually, these prayers are, you know, are directed to the Yajna Purusha. As we know, the sacrificial fire is the mouth of the Lord. It is through the sacrificial fire and through the mouth of the Brahmanas that the Yajna Purus or the Lord accept all kind of oblations. Lord becomes pleased when Brahmanas or Vaishnavas are given proper, feeding. And similarly, all sacrificial oblations Lord accepts through the fire. So the fire god is also said to have this kind of form, what is described here. And Yagna Purusa also, like he has 2 heads, he has 3 legs, he has 4 Vedas, 7 Chandas such as Gayatri, and 3 Vedic rituals like Karm Kand, Gyan Kand, Upasana Kand, and he expands these rituals in the form of sacrifice. In Vedas, there are various kind of yagnas, provision of various kind of yagnas. And as we know, Lord is the Bhoktaram Yagatapasam. He is the supreme enjoyer of all these yagnas. So all kind of yagnas, even when they are to please, some demigod, ultimately they become, perfect when the final oblation is given on the name of the Lord Vishnu. Because in Bhagavatam, first canto, we read it. What? Vasudev Parabeda, Vasudev Paramukha. Vasudev is a personality that is to be known after studying all the Vedas. And Vasudev Paramakha, all the Vedic sacrifices are meant to please the personality of Vasudev. Vasudeva Para Yoga, all the yogas, that is, those activities by which one wants to connect himself to the Supreme Being, Supreme Lord, are meant to reach to Vasudeva. Vasudeva Parakriya, or the activities or the sacrifices, their benedictions or their fructification or their fruits are given by Vasudeva only. Vasudeva Param Jnanam, all knowledge ultimately leads to Vasudeva. Or in other words, the knowledge of Vasudeva, knowledge about personality of Vasudeva is all knowledge. Vasudeva Param Jnanam, Vasudeva Param Tapa. All austerities are meant to please the supreme personality of Goddess known as Vasudeva. All austerities. Bhoktaram Yagatapsam. That's what Lord also says. And that I am the enjoyer, I am the supreme enjoyer of all the yagnas or the sacrifices and the austerities one performs. So Vasudeva Parantapa. Vasudev Paro Dharmo. The devotion to the Lord Vasudev is the supreme devotion. And the same thing we read in Bhagavatam again. Savai punsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir dokshaju. Ahetuki ahetu apriyatata. Ya atma suprasidati. The supreme religion, the supreme or absolute religion for the living being is the worship or the devotion to the personality of Goddess Sri Krishna or Vasudeva. So Vasudeva Paro Dharmo, the worship or the devotion to the Lord Vasudeva is the supreme religion. There is no religion above that. All, in other words, all the religions are under one principle, under one religion, that is worshipping the Lord Vishnu or Lord Vasudeva. One who is the devotee of Lord Vasudeva, he is naturally fulfilling all kind of duties or religions. To the society, to the family, to the country, to the demigods, or to anybody. So anybody who becomes devotee of Lord Vasudeva, he is actually, in a way, he has abandoned all kind of religion and he has ultimately surrendered to Lord Krishna. Sarvadharman pratyaj mam ekam saranam braj. So a person who is worshipping Lord Vasudeva is actually the one who is following the absolute religion or topmost religion. Vasudev Paro Dharmo, Vasudev Param Gati. Anybody, the ultimate destination of the living being is ultimate the lotus feet of Lord Vasudeva. So that is why Lord Vasudeva is the, Bhoktaram Yagatapsam. He is the enjoyer of all the kind of sacrifices. So here it is the description of the Yagna Purusa, to whom these prayers are directed. And next verse, like this one, Nama Shivaya Rudraya Nama Saktidharaya Cha Sarva Bhuda Sarva Vidyadipataya Bhutanam Pate Nama. I offer my respectful obeisance unto you, Shiva, the incarnation named Lord Shiva, Rudra, the expansion named Rudra. Nama obeisance unto you, Satyadharaya, the reservoir of all potencies, and Sarva Vidya Adipataya, the reservoir of all knowledge. Bhutanam, of the living entities. Pate, the Supreme Master. Nama, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you. So these prayers are directed to Lord Shiva, who is the incarnation of mode of ignorance. As we know, Lord Vishnu, in order to maintain this material creation or material world, he expands himself in the three forms. That is the Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and himself. He takes the in charge of, mode of goodness. So by these three, expansions, Lord Vishnu controls everything. He takes charge of creation in the form of Brahma, maintenance himself, and as the charge of annihilation, he himself takes, through the agency of Lord Shiva. Actually, Lord Vishnu does not contact the material nature directly. He never. But when Lord Vishnu comes in direct contact of material nature, then he becomes Shiva. It is just like this. Milk when tamarind is milk, then milk becomes curd. Similarly, when Vishnu, who is compared with milk, comes in contact with the material nature directly, then he becomes curd like Shiva. Shiva is compared with the Kshiram yathadad vikar visesyaga sanjayate na prithagaste hetu. Milk and curd, in a way, they are same and different also. There are two kind of narrations in the Bhagavatam in Vedic scriptures. One is Veda Gyan, other is Aveda Gyan. Veda Gyan tells about Lord and his energies, how they are different. And Aveda Gyan tells about Lord and his energies, how they are simultaneously one. So Ved Aved means simultaneously different and simultaneously together. So same is the situation about the milk and curd. Same is the situation about the Vishnu Tattva and the Shiv Tattva. Vishnu Tattva is milk, Shiv Tattva is curd. Milk and curd in a way are the same thing because curd ultimately depends on milk or curd comes from the milk. But they are different also because they have different taste and they have different function also. By overtaking of milk, one's stomach may become upset. But when the same curd which is made from the same milk is taken, then one may become perfect also. I mean, his stomach becomes okay. So one whereas becomes problem, the other becomes the solution. So in a way, they're the same, but they're different also. So from this point of view, Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, they are same also, they are different also. Hmm? So now there is something interesting. When Lord Vishnu glances over the Pradhana, that is the material nature, which is in the dormant condition, where the three modes of material nature are not interacting among themselves, then the glance of the Lord Vishnu takes the form of the time, takes the form of the time. And it is the time factor comes into existence as the glance of Lord Vishnu. And actually, that Pradhana, which is narrated in Bhagavad Gita as Mahad Yonis, it becomes activated by glance of Lord Vishnu, and that glance himself is the Lord Shiva also. Like Lord says, Sarva Yonis Kontya Murtya Sabhavantya Tasam Mahad Yonir Aham Brij Pradapada. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Sarva Yonis Kontya Murtya Sabhavantya. O Konte, know it for certain that all living beings come into existence by birth. And how this birth happens? Tasam Mahad Yonir Aham Bij Pradapata. The Pradhan or the Mahad Yoni, Pradhan, another name of Pradhan is Mahad Yoni. Mahad Yoni means great source of creation. Yoni means source of creation. And Mahad Yoni means great source of creation. That is Pradhana. So this Mahad Yoni, Aham Bij Pradapata. I am the seed giving father. So how Lord Krishna gives seed? By glancing over the material nature. And we come in the agency of we come in the womb of our mothers by agency of impregnation, and that's the reason why Lord Shiva is worshipped in the form of lingam. Wherever we see Lord Shiva in the form of lingam, there is a conjunction of Mahadhyoni and lingam. And what it represents? Lingam actually, Lord Shiva is lingam of Lord Vishnu. And the very fact that Lord Shiva is worshipped in the form of lingam means that Lord Shiva is, father of all the living beings who are conditioned in the material world. And Mahad Oni, that is Mother Parvati or Ma Durga, is actually the mother of all conditioned living beings. Lord Krishna, no doubt, is the father of all living beings. But of those conditioned beings who are embodied in this material world, Lord Shiva is the father, supreme father. And Mother Parvati is the mother of our. And therefore, Lord Shiva is worshipped in this form. Nimnaganam yatha Ganga, Devanam achyuta yatha, Vaisnavanam yatha Sambhu, Purananam idam tatha. In Bhagavatam, this is the verse there that says, among all the rivers, as Ganges is the west, among all the worshippables, as Achyuta Sri Krishna is the topmost. Similarly, And as among all the Vaishnavas, Lord Shambhu is the best. Similarly, this Bhagavatam Purana is the best among all the Puranas. So, this is the position of Lord Shiva, constitutional position of Lord Shiva, that he is actually Krishna's, he's actually Krishna's devotee. What happened? Lord Rama, when he installed the deity of Rameshwaram, before he could construct the bridge to, Sri Lanka, Lanka, so there Lord Rama installed a deity of Rameshwaram. That's the deity of Lord Shiva. So all the living beings said that this is Rames Iswara, Sir Rameshwara, one who is a worshipable deity of Lord Rama is Rameshwara. That's how the general public, they described Rameshwara name. And demigod said, no, 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 that's not the case. Rama cha Iswara cha. Rama cha Iswara cha. No, no, both Lord Shiva and Lord Rama are Iswara. Then Shiva could not tolerate this and he appeared from that Shivlingam and he said, no. Rameswaram means Rama, yes, Iswara. One whose Rama, one whose Iswara or controller or worshipable deity is Rama, that is Rameswara. So from this we can understand that Shivji himself says that he is actually the devotee of Lord Rama. Ram Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanabaran. This is Lord Shiva says that one name of Lord Rama is equivalent to 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. Lord Shiva, as we know, is very Asutosh. He is very easily pleased. There was a demon called Brakasur. Once he met Narad Muni and said, who is the deity who can be pleased in the least of time? Naraji said, Asutosh. Asutosh means Shiva. Asu means immediately. Tosh means one who becomes satisfied. So Lord Shiva becomes satisfied immediately. Worship him. This Brakasur, he started, giving oblations of his flesh from his body to please Lord Shiva. And when Lord Shiva was not pleased, then he decided to cut his head and offer in the fire, offer to Lord Shiva. So when he was to cut his head, then Lord Shiva appeared there, and he wanted to know as why so he was so hell bent on giving his head even to him. What does he want? So there Brakasur said, I want a benediction that on whomsoever head I put my hand, that person should immediately die. He should immediately finish to ashes. He should immediately become ashes, finish to ashes. Anyway, Shiva was so satisfied. He's asked those, he said, okay, tathastu, be it so. Let it be so. So then this Brakasur said, but I want to test it. Whatever benediction you have given me, I want to see if it works or not. Shiva said, okay, you can test it. But this guy said, Brakasur said, but I want to test it on you. So he started, he proceeded towards Shiva with his hand like this, and he wanted to put his hand on the Shiva's head and wanted to check. In fact, this demon was willing to kill Shiva and enjoy Mother Parvati. Shiva was in danger. He started running from there. He went everywhere, but nobody could come to his, safety. So Lord Vishnu, he smiled and he somehow, you know, wanted to solve the situation or the problem that Shiva was in. So Lord Vishnu took the form of a brahmachari, very attractive brahmachari. Lord Vishnu is the most handsome among all the personalities. He's the most beautiful among all the women. So when he wants to become a brahmachari, means one who is very attractive by his effulgence and face. So if he if he decides to become brahmachari, he will become a very effulgent brahmachari. Like when Lord Vamandev appeared after this Payogrit completion, perfection, then he went to Bhaguput Kshetra, where is Narmada river, where Bali Maharaj was performing in Aswamedh Yajnas. So there all the Brahmins were sitting, and when they saw Vamandev, by effulgence on his face, the faces of other Brahmins they immediately faded. There was so much of effulgence on Lord Vamandev. He was looking such an attractive brahmachari that Bali Maharaj got so impressed and decided whatever this Brahman asks for, I will give him. Whatever. And this Brahman, Vamandev said, Tasmat tot mahimi sambraham padam teen datin samitan padamam. O Daitindra, O king of the demons, I want, you know, I want earth from you just equivalent to 3 steps of mine. Padan teen samitan. So what I'm trying to say is Lord took the form of a brahmachari, and this Brakasur was, running after Lord Shiva. Lord came before Brakasur, and he stopped him and he said, "Oh, where are you going? What has happened to you?" He said, "Lord Shiva has given me benediction that on whomsoever head I put my, hand, he will be turned to ashes immediately. So I want to test that." So Lord Vishnu, who was in the form of a brahmachari, he said that, "Oh, you are trusting Lord Shiva. You do not know about Lord Shiva. From the time he has been cursed by Daksha, he has lost all his power of benedictions. Now, you see, you can see it. If you want, you can check it on yourself. The words of this brahmachari, that is Lord Vishnu, were so attractive, so deluding, so bewildering to Brakasur that he started believing in this. And Lord said that if you want, you can check it. And Lord started, uplifting his hand. And this brahmachari, this Brakasur, he started uplifting it. And his Lord said, "See, take your hand up, up, up." And Lord put his hand on his own hand. Lord said, "See, just like put your hand over your head and see. Nothing happens. I trust. I assure you." Lord, when he wants to cheat, he can cheat anybody. Like he cheated, Bali Maharaj. Just in 3 steps, he took all the three kingdom of the three, worlds. So Lord cheated this Brakasur immediately. And Brakasur, who was just bewildered by Lord's, words, he put his hand over his head, and he was finished to ashes. And that's how Shivji was, saved from a very, very fatal situation, very dangerous situation. So this is how is Lord Shiva. He is Ashutosh. He gives benedictions. He is easily pleased. Like Lord Shiva acts as Kshetrapal. Kshetrapal. Wherever there is abode of Lord, here, even on earth, there are Lord Shivas. He acts as Kshetrapal. Like in Mathura, he is Bhuteswar. In Vrindavan, he is Gopeshwar. And in Govardhan, he is Chakreshwar. In Nandagaon, he is Nandeshwar. And similarly, Lord Shiva is there in Dwarka, he is there in Jagannath Puri, and anywhere, wherever there are abodes of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva is there. He acts as a Kshetrapal. He protects that Dhama, local Dhama, from any kind of, problem. So Lord Shiva takes up this service. Actually, Lord Shiva wanted to enjoy the Ras dance of Lord Krishna, and he told Parvati that I want to go and partake in Ras dance. Parvati ji, she tried to convince Lord Shiva that this is not a meeting for you. You should not go there. You will not be welcome there. But somehow he was not agreeing. So he went there. So the Pawnmasi, which is Yog Maya, in fact, he worshipped Pawnmasi. So Pawnmasi somehow asked him that you go in the Brahma Sarovar and take a dip there, and then you will become a gopi. So Lord Shiva, on the advice of Pawnmasi, which is actually Yog Maya, she went and he took a dip in the Brahma Kunda, and he became a very beautiful gopi. And then he was given a chance to partake in the Ras dance. But when he was there, then the gopis said, "We are not, getting that kind of rasa which we otherwise get in Ras dance daily. there is definitely some Vijatiya Gopi. Vijatiya Gopi means some Gopi which is not in the same, you know, same rasa in which we are. And the reason was Shivji. That is who was Gopeshwar, Gopi. So somehow they identified. They started inquiring Lord Shiva, where have you come from? Who are you? Who are your parents? And Lord Shiva was in the form of a gopi. So they said, who's your husband? Otherwise, because every gopi had her husband. Who's your husband? Lord Shiva hesitated because he does not have any husband. Who are your in-laws? Who's your mother-in-law? Who's your father-in-law? Where have you come from here? Lord Shiva had no answer. So Lord Shiva was waiting there by all the gopis. How dare you come here? How dare you enter in this? Padmasi came to rescue of Lord Shiva there, and she said, "It is me who introduced him there." And since Lord Shiva didn't have the bhav of a gopi, he still was thinking that he's a male person, and therefore he was not able to, and that's why the Ras dance was not, enjoyable by the other gopis. So somehow, when this Yog Maya somehow gave Lord Shiva the benediction, then he, actually became a gopi that is known as Gopeshwar Mahadev. So all the expansions of Sadasiv, who is in the spiritual world, like Bhuteswar Mahadev, Rangeswar Mahadev, or other Pipaleswar Mahadev, or like the one who resides on the Kailas mountain or in even Kashi, they are expansion of Sadasiv, partial expansion of Sadasiv, who is in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha Loka. And this Gopeshwar Mahadev actually can give the best of the benedictions. He actually can give the topmost Madhuri Ras, that is of a gopi, because he is so endowed with this strength and with this love of Krishna. Last thing I will say about one thing: when this churning of milk ocean happened, everything was finished. Then Lord Shiva heard that Lord Vishnu had taken incarnation of Mohini Murti, and he was there on Kailas, and he thought that, see, when the poison came out, I was called and I was asked to drink poison. And when this nectar came, Lord took the form of a Mohini Murti, and this form I have never seen of the Lord. And these demigods not only were the fortunate to see, Mohini Murti incarnation of the Lord, even the demons were the fortunate enough. And demigods, they were given the nectar. I was given, I was asked to drink the poison, which I did. I didn't get the nectar, and I didn't see even the Mohini Murti form of the Lord. I will go to see this Mohini Murti form of the Lord. And Lord Shiva, along with Uma and some of his associates and followers, went to Lord Vishnu. And there he offered his prayers to the Lord Vishnu in many ways. And when Lord Vishnu asked him, why have you come here? What's the purpose of being here, Lord Shiva said, Sarve Leela Avatarate Bhutanam Bhuthetava Gyatum Ichhami Adrupam Yadartham Bhavatadartham. I want to see that incarnation, Mohini Murti. I have seen all your incarnations, but I have not seen your Mohini Murti. I want to see that Gyatam Ichhami Yadartham Bhavatadartham. That incarnation which you took to distribute the nectar among the demigods, I have not seen. I want to see that. Lord said that demigods were not bewildered by this, Mohini Murti incarnation of mine, but demons were bewildered. This form I took to bewilder the demons because they had snatched the nature pot from Dhanvantari. So demigods were not bewildered, but since you are the best of the demigods, so you will not be bewildered by this. In other words, Lord Vishnu was joking that though you are best of the demigods, but demigods though were not bewildered by this form of mine, but O Shiva, you will be bewildered. And Lord Shiva said, yes, I am best of demigods, so I will not be bewildered. Kindly show me this Mohini Murti, I want to see this. Sarve Leela Avatarate Bhutanam Bhut Hedava. I have seen all incarnations, but I have not seen this one. Kindly show me. Lord Vishnu smiled, and then he went to think that my external potency, Maya, which is personified in the form of Uma or Parvati, she cannot bewilder Lord Shiva. Because Lord Shiva can go in the trance for 87,000 years. He is such a person with such a control of his mind and senses. My external potency could not bewilder Shiva. What should I do? And then Lord decides that I should appear with my internal potency. And therefore, Lord Vishnu took the form of Mohini Murti by his internal potency. He took a form of a beautiful woman. See, in the churning of the milk ocean, there were three incarnations. Lord Ajita took Kachapa incarnation because this churning happened in the Manvantar of Chakshashu Manu, and Lord Ajit is the Manvantar avatar of Chakshas Manu. So Lord Ajit took the form of tortoise, and Lord Ajit himself took the form of Mohini Murti, and he was the one who also appeared as Dhanvantari. So Lord Ajit or Lord Vishnu told Shiva that he will not be bewildered, but Lord wanted to bewilder Lord Shiva, and therefore he took a very beautiful form of a very beautiful woman. When Lord wants to attract somebody, bewilder somebody, then who can be as beautiful as he himself is? Hmm? When the Creator is so beautiful, so many beautiful things in this material world, so many beautiful things by which we all are attracted here. It Maya Mohit Dhiyo Brahmam Karma Bhartmasu. By whose illusion energy the living beings, they wander in various species of life. There are so many attractive things in the material world, the nature, the male and female bodies, and whatnot. All this creation is from the one spark of Krishna's energies. And what about Krishna himself? What about the Creator himself? When his creation is so beautiful, how beautiful he will be. When he decides to bewilder somebody, so this form that he took, Lord Shiva. But before that, Lord Vishnu warned, alerted Lord Shiva. Let's see, your wife is here, your followers are here, and if you do not behave your followers and your wife. Therefore, but Lord Shiva, no, I am best of the demigods. Nothing, no problem. And then when Lord saw this, Lord Shiva was bewildered, attracted. But Lord Shiva was attracted by internal potency of Krishna, and therefore Lord assured him that you are there on your position, you are not falling from your position. So these are the some of qualities of Lord Shiva. One more thing we learned in Bhagavatam only, there was you know Birochan is the son of Prahlad Maharaj, and Birochan's son is Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj has 100 sons. Out of them, Banasur was the eldest. He has 1,000 hands. And how did he get 1,000 hands? Earlier, he had only 4 hands, 2 hands. But what happened? By pleasing Lord Shiva gave him 1,000 hands. And he engaged all his hands in worshipping Lord Shiva. Why? Because once Lord Shiva was performing Nataraj dance. So this Banasur, with all his 1,000 hands, he played different musical instruments. With 2 hands mridanga, with 2 hands kartal, with 2 hands some other instrument, some other musical instrument. And Lord Shiva was very much pleased. When we want to do some kirtan, and if there is no mridanga or kartal player, we become very agitated. But if somebody all of a sudden comes to play mridanga and kirtan and some other instrument, we become very pleased with. So similarly, Lord Shiva became very pleased. And Lord Shiva said, what do you want? He said, you become my, gate guard. You become my guard at my gate of my capital. Lord Shiva was somehow bound. He was bound. He said, okay. Then one day Banasur said, you have given me 1,000 hands, 1,000 arms. I have so much of power, but all these arms are just like burden on my soldiers because I do not find anybody who can fight with me. A person who has force, ball, who has strength, energy, he want to fight. Lord Shiva said that day is not far when he will find a person who will have so much of courage and strength like me, and he will fight with him. So it's so manifested that this Banasur has his daughter Usa and Lord's grandson, that's Anuruddha, Pradumna's son. He somehow fell in love with Usa, and Usa's friend, that is Chitralekha, she picked up Anuruddha from Dwarka and brought in the Sonitpur. That was the capital of Banasur. Manasur, when he came to know there is some lover of his daughter who's living in his room, then he went to attack there. And there was a big fight with Aniruddha. He killed few, but finally, in order that Lord Pastimes can, take other shape, Aniruddha was captivated. He was caught there, and then Lord Balram and Krishna attacked Sonitpur with 11 Achoni Sena, 11 Achoni army. And Vanasur also came to fight with the same number of soldiers and army. Shiva, he was bound to help Vanasur, and their Shiva was also deluded the way Brahma was deluded. Brahma was deluded to test the potency of Krishna when he has stolen caps and friends of cowherd voice of Krishna. And here, Lord Shiva got deluded and he came to fight with Kartikeya here. A fierce battle occurred there, and Lord Shiva fought. Lord Shiva knew that he will be defeated by Krishna, but in order that Krishna, gets inspired or encouragement to fight more and more, he gets some enjoyment. Lord Shiva came to fight, and Acharyas say that Lord Shiva was bewildered, just like Lord Brahma was bewildered, and therefore he came to fight there. So there, after Lord Krishna defeated everybody, even Shiva was defeated. In short, this is the story. And Lord was about to kill Vanasur, but he was not about to kill because he had promised Prahlad that I am going to, safeguard your 21 generations. So there, Lord Shiva ultimately is pleading to Krishna to spare Vanasur. And there he is saying, Dev Dattam Imlabdva Nirlokam Ajitindriya Na Adaret Tat Padav Sasoch Vanchakam. This human form of body, which is very rare body, anybody who has gotten this human form of body, Nirloke Ajitindriyam. But anybody who does not take shelter at your lotus feet, such a person is deceiving himself. Such a person is cheating himself. Such a person's situation is really actually pitiable. This is Lord Shiva, pleading to Lord Krishna. And there he says, Ya Tom Visjate Mart Atmanam Priya Iswaram Viparya Indri Artham Viparya Indri Arthartham Visamyat Amritam Vihan. You, who is the dear lover of all the living beings, anybody who abandons or who leaves your lotus feet as worship, and anybody who engages in the material activities in the material world, his position is just like a person who has abandoned nature but who is drinking just poison. These are the verses in which Lord Shiva is praying to Lord Krishna to spare Vanasur from his rage. So these are certain things we know about Lord Shiva, of which to whom these prayers are directed here in this Payuvrata. So that's all I wanted to say here in this context of these two verses. If there are any comments or questions, please come forward. Most welcome. Hare Krishna. Yes. Radha Jyoti Devi Dasimata. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my
Yes.
humble obeisance as a request of your lotus feet.
Thank
Prabhuji,
you.
I have one question. Say in our we have 10 offenses, right? So we say that Lord's name is the only one, and then the other demigods' names are there, especially Lord Shiva, and we say that they are not equal, isn't it? But say in other sampradaya, Vaishnav sampradaya, they say Lord Shiva and um Lord Vishnu, or they are equal.
Hmm.
Then and they are considering, if you consider they both are different, then that is an offense. So that this is a huge contradiction. So I wanted to know how we should see, like, one sampradaya say this, and the other
Hmm.
sampradaya they see another way, like
Okay.
how we can understand.
Hmm. Like there is one Dvait Siddhant in one Sampradaya, there is one Advait Siddhant. So Dvait Siddhant, in what happens in Dvaitvasis, what they do, they, Dvait Siddhant talks about the Lord and his energies being different. Anybody other than Krishna is manifestation of his energy only, or his energy only, we can understand. So Dvait Siddhant says that Lord and his energies are different. But Advait Siddhant says Lord and his energies are not different, they are same. So Dvaitavadis, they put emphasis on this principle that Lord and his energies are different. Advaitvadi, they put much emphasis on the fact that Lord and his energies are indifferent or not different. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said Lord and his energies are different, but simultaneously together. This is Achint Ved Aved Tattva. This is inconceivable fact. So we are following the principle that is given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is, in one way, as I said, curd and milk, they are same, but they are different also. They are different because their actions are different, but they are same because one has come from the other. One is depending on the other. Like when we are talking about the 10 offenses, then we say that Sir Brahma, to consider the name of the demigods like Sir Brahma as as powerful as the name of Lord Vishnu. But at the same time, this is another fact. If we read the episode of Daksha, there it is said, anybody who considers Brahma and Shiva as independent of Lord Vishnu, this is an offense. Actually, we must understand that everything and every personality in the creation is simply dependent on personality of Krishna. So Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, these two personalities also ultimately depend on Krishna, and therefore their names are also dependent on Krishna, or in other words, uh, they are not independent. To consider them independent, when because Lord's name is independent, Lord's name is independent. Lord Himself is independent, but Shiva and Brahma, they are not independent. They are, but if we consider them independent, then actually we are committing offense. Yes, to Narayanam Devam, Brahm Rudraj Devatai, Samatvena Vishesa Pasandi Bhave Dhruvam. Anybody who considers Brahma and Rudra on the same position as Lord Narayan, such a person is Pakhandi. Pasandi means atheist. The atheist means atheist has two meaning. One kind of atheist is a person who does not believe in the existence of some super being or something superior to him, which controls everything. One kind of atheism is this. Another kind of atheism is this, one who considers Brahma and Shiva on the same position as Lord Narayan. They are also atheist. A person is said to be atheist when we consider so. So yes, Narayanam Devam Brahmaduddha Devtai, Samatven Vishesa Pasandi Bhave Dhruvam. That person is a Pasandi. But But Lord Vishnu, when he appeared in the sacrifice of Daksha, there he said one thing. Atmayam samavis soham gurmaiduj. Srajan rakshan haran viswam dadde sangriyam kriyauchitam. Lord Vishnu, who appeared from the sacrificial fire, is addressing Daksha, who had committed an offense to Lord Shiva, and there he is saying, Lord Vishnu is saying, Atmayam samavis so aham gurmaiduj. Srajan rakshan haran viswam dadde sangriyam kriyauchitam. From my internal potency, I take three forms, and according to the activity of creation, maintenance, and annihilation, I have different names. So there, Lord Vishnu is telling Daksha that Lord Shiva is non different from me, because ultimately it is me who take different name, who take the name of Lord Shiva as annihilator, who take the position of Lord Brahma as the creator. Ultimately it is me. So there he is saying Atmayam Samabhi Soham Gurmayiduj Sajan Rakshan Haram Vishwam Dadya Sangriyam Krishitam. I have been given different names like Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu, but actually it is me only. So this way we need to understand that this Achint Vedavid Tattva of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have to engage everywhere. We have to utilize everywhere. Otherwise, these principles are very difficult to understand. Dvaita and Advaita philosophy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says Achint Vedavid, simultaneously one and different. So this is the one way of understanding. Like there is one more example. There is a gold necklace somebody is wearing, and there is gold in the mine also. But if somebody says this gold necklace and gold mine, they are same, they are not same, because necklace, in order to be carved out, there has to be a lot of work done on the gold. Then this necklace is fame. But in one sense they are different. In the other sense they are not different also, because both are gold. Both are gold. So similarly, in one sense they are different. In other sense they are not different. So we have to understand like this. Is that okay, Mataji?
Pra- Prabhuji, could you please define Achintya Veda Ved once again? So,
Achint Veda, Achint means that which is inconceivable. Ved Aved, Ved Aved. The Lord's, mm, description of Lord and Lord's energies as different, and description of Lord and Lord's energies as the same is Achint. Achint means beyond our thinking, beyond our thought process, beyond our brains. So we have to accept as it is that yes, this is possible. Achint Veda Vidman, they can be different and they can exist simultaneously also.
so, Prabhuji, there are pastimes like when Lord comes, Lord Vishnu will uh, take a lower position and he will glorify Mahadeva because he is a very dear devotee of his, right? So, is my understanding correct? Like, uh, there are grades in his energies, and then he inconceivably enters in any energy and makes whatever he wants he will do, and he will show that the other energies are like, even though they are very higher, then they are lower when whatever I want or whatever it is that, like, one pastime is there, no, where Lord Vishnu takes in second position and he glorifies Lord Mahadeva. Many pastimes are like that. So I was asking, so is it like that? My understanding is correct?
Lord can glorify even his devotees. Lord glorifies his devotees also many times. Krishna used to worship even Narad when he used to go to Dwarka. So Lord, glorifies Brahmins also. Lord glorifies his devotees also. Lord can glorify anybody. Lord can do so. And when it comes to, showing his prowess and power, then he can show his prowess and power like he showed to Arjun also. Arjun inquired about Lord's energies and so many things and opulences. Then Lord told all these energies and opulences in chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita. Then Arjun said, I want to see them also. Then Lord shows his universal form in the next chapter. So their Lord is not, glorifying Arjun, but Arjun is becoming very fearful after seeing Lord's universal form. So their Lord is showing his actual position. So Lord can glorify his devotees because Lord's devotees are actually worth of glorification. They have very unique qualities, inhuman qualities, transcendental qualities.
Yes. So this Shankaracharya, the Jagat Guru, the great personality was Mahadeva himself, but he glorified Lord.
Hmm.
Means in an what do you say, impersonal way, right? He didn't glorify it as in personal form. His works, if we read or if we go through, so this is going in a loop. Once he will glorify himself or he will glorify Lord. This goes on because here in Maharashtra also, Panduranga wears the tilak, which is a Mahadev himself. They here we what tilak we apply, no, it's completed. We say that it's a lotus feet, and the tulsi leaf is that we should be purify our body, mind, and soul, and speech in such a way that it becomes a tulsi marani, and we offer ourselves at lotus feet of Lord. This is what significance of the tilak is. But here Lord wears Mahadeva on his forehead, especially on Mahashivratri. It's very signifying here. And they say that if you can't match, or if you can't follow Lord Shiva, then you can't be Lord Vishnu's devotee. Like they have this understanding here. It's very very deep understanding here. Like they go to Lord Shiva first, and then they enter in the Lord Vishnu's temple, like in Vithala temple. So I was not
Actually,
knowing
what
this.
happens? Yeah.
So this
Okay.
is all. Then every day when I read that these offenses, no, I used to feel what exactly is going on. Like, am I doing offense or I don't know.
See, Mata, it's like this. Like when you go to Ayodhya, there people first go to Hanuman Gadi. They take darshan of Hanumanji, then they take darshan of Lord Rama in Ayodhya also. But one fact is that, yes, Lord Shiva himself says this thing, Aradhanam Sarvesam Vishnu Aradhanam Param Tasmat Partaram Devi. Tadiyanam Samarchanam of all the worships, worship of Lord Vishnu in the West, and even better than worship of Lord Vishnu is the worship of his devotees. So, as devotees of Lord Rama, we can worship Hanuman, and Lord is actually very pleased when his devotees are worshipped properly, but not as independent personalities. They are worshipped as, you know, devotees. Then Lord is very pleased. First thing. Second thing, one who is worshipper of Krishna or devotee of Krishna, he actually is worshipping all. Yatha tarumur, we know this verse that the way we, by watering the root of a tree, everything becomes water. Similarly, when the food goes in the intestine, then all the limbs get energy. We hear this in Bhagavatam. Yatha taror mool nishechanin taraptyanti tatsandvajupasakha. So similarly, when we become devotee of Krishna, we automatically and virtually become devotee of all personalities. We cannot afford to offend any personality. Ultimately, these demigods, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, they are very, very powerful personalities, empowered for positions. So we cannot even compete with them. So therefore, therefore, uh, what I was saying. Therefore, we cannot afford to offend anybody. What I mean to say is that when we actually understand their positions, virtual positions, or position in relation to Krishna, then we are actually, worshipping everything. And as a Vaishnava, we need to understand here that everything is in relation to Krishna. Everything is in relation to Krishna. And when we see every personality and even the whole material creation in relation to Krishna, then only actually we are seeing the things in the right perspective. So from that point of view, even when we are not the so-called devotee of Shiva, but we may be better devotee of Shiva than others who do not know who Shiva is. Because we know who is the personality of Shiva is. People like they take to taking ganja, all these things, but such people are who don't have any kind of sense control. Are they to be considered better devotee of Shiva than the Vaishnavas who are doing so much of austerities and giving all respect to not only Lord, but to the devotees of the Lord. So if we actually understand them in the right perspective and right position, then we are not committing any offense. This understanding now, we get in practice of devotion in ISKCON also in the course of time.
So, Prabhuji, like this is my final question. Is my understanding correct? If our behavior is such a way that if we see a demigod and if we say that my Lord is greater, like we are Shivites, we are Vaishnavas, we are far apart Vaishnavas, like we have very standard way of life or way of devotion, and why to look at demigod or why to worship, or if we disrespect, then it is an offense. There is no harm in going to Lord Shiva's temple because I belong to Lingayat. So we do go, but if we disrespect Lord Shiva, then it becomes an offense, and we go and we say that okay, you're a great devotee, and I go and you bless me. Then that offense, then it is not an offense. Is my understanding correct now?
Yes, but what is that blessing? For example, if we go to demigods and just uh, you know we pray for advancement in devotion, then it's not actually then it's not a demigod worship. We can go, for example, if there is a Sanatan Dharma temple, there are deities of, let's say, Shiva, Hanuman, and let's say Sunny Dev. All these deities are there, and there's the deity of Lord Vishnu also, Lord Krishna also. So, shall we not pay our offenses to other deities of like Durga, Ganesh, and other deities? We will pay obeisances because they are empowered positions, empowered authorities, and they need to be given respect. They need to be given respect in every way. But when we are going to a, let's say, Shiva temple or Hanuman temple or in the temple, then just like the gopis who were worshipping Katyani, Mahamaye, Mahayogeshwari, Adhishwari, eh, Nand Braja, Nand Brajsutam, Patime Kurme Nama. I want son of Nanda Maharaj as my husband. This is what the gopis were praying to Katyani. So with this conception, we can go to any temple and we can worship anybody, even Lord Shiva. But if we are going for material benedictions to other demigods, then of course this is not Ananya Bhakti. This is not Ananya Bhakti. And Krishna in Bhagavad Gita uses this word Ananya many times. Ananya many times in Bhagavatam also. Ananya means na an, no one other than me. That means this thing. So when actually we come to know about the relative and the relational position of these demigods in respect to Krishna, we cannot avoid them and we will not avoid them because we know we even cannot afford to offend a Vaishnav among our community. Then when all these demigods are Vaishnavas in the sense they are the worshippers of Lord Vishnu, then how can we offend them? So we will not offend them. So we can pay all the respect to them, but when it comes for asking for any benedictions or boons, then we ask only for devotion of Krishna, nothing else. Then we are Ananvakta of Krishna. Otherwise, if we are asking for material benedictions, we are not Ananvakta of Krishna. Then our intelligence has been taken away by the Kamaisteta Hirtigana. Our intelligence has been taken away by lusty desires.
Because
So
Krishna
this
is
is the
not
way.
the center. Hmm. Thank you, Prabhuji, so much. Eternally grateful to you. Thank you so much for the beautiful class as well. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. If any other question or comment we can take, or else we can close class here.
Yeah, thank you so much for a wonderful answer. I think Janva Mataji have some question, Prabhuji. Mataji, please
Yes.
go ahead, Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it's my great fortune to be of your association and for the question of the other Mataji too regarding Lord Shiva and also thank you, Bhakti Janga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and assembled devotees. Prabhu, I'm going to continue the weaving the question of the other Mataji as well. You said, I mean, there are many scriptural proof and citation. Yes, in Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna is saying, is that chapter 6, in the Karma Yoga, bhakti is the highest of all. Lord Krishna would, it's kind of like whatever you want. If you want to go to this path, I give you that too. If you want to go to this path, it's like whatever your heart's desire, I will support that. If you want to be a Maya body, okay, you be a Maya body, and I'll I'll give you the illusory energy where you can get stuck being a Maya body. Like Lord Krishna gives us everything. Um, Ironically, actually, this is what fascinates me about bhakti. But my question, Prabhu, is I'm repeating what you're saying. So when we go to other temples, let's say a Shiv Mandir, and where you see many different kinds of deity there, even Lord Krishna is there. But the main focus of a Shiv Mandir, of course, is like the ones that I've seen is the Shivling there at the center, right? So if we go there and pray and say, "Oh, okay, Lord Shiva, you're the topmost devotee. Please give me or help me be more perform better devotional service like you," then it's not an offense. Then we're not being taken by illusory energy. Is that what you're saying, Prabhu?
That's not
Okay.
offense, and that's the right way of worshipping Krishna also.
Okay. So then, but Prabhu, my concern is, what if for the Shaivites that have really seems to have more like a past like imprint, they gravitate towards more of the obeisances to Lord Shiva. um how do they, because sometimes it feels like it's easier to have a communication with Lord Shiva, because I feel like he's closer to the material plane. Like Lord Krishna is so up there, right? And this conflicts me, because one minute the scriptures say, okay, pay obeisances to Lord Shiva as the topmost devotee, and you know but sometimes these things kind of require also relationships, and relationships take time. We can't just go approach, let's say, the managers of God in a temple and say, "Oh, hi, Lord Shiva, could you please?" Sometimes I feel like there has to be some kind of time and space, given to develop a relationship in a way to that demigod, to even ask for that boon or thing, and then that time is being taken away from a possible worship to Lord Krishna. Do you know what I'm trying to get at, Prabhu? Because it's kind of like, we have like topmost what's in the material world is merely a reflection of the spiritual world. Like, I can't just approach, let's say, Krishna and Radha, right? Radharani. Like, I have to go to the Manjari, and before I can be qualified to approach. So similarly, it feels like it's much easier sometimes to go through Lord Shiva and then allocate a little bit of time to develop that relationship there. When I transition
I've
to,
understood. I've understood your concern, Mataji. See, our Acharya is Srila Prabhupada, and he has said that simply, and our main book of instruction is Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and it is clearly mentioned there in Bhagavatam also. Akamo sarva kamova moksha kamo dhardi tibrin bhakti yogin ejit kursum param. Whether we have any material desires, even if we have any material desires, we should worship Lord Vishnu only. And kindly understand one thing, that simply by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र एक दस भाव एक जपे ताय कृष्ण उपजाए भाव. This is the nature of Hare Krishna mantra, that it automatically nurtures love of Krishna in one's heart, he who chants it. So by
Mm,
simply chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we develop love to Krishna, and as we develop love to Krishna, so we develop devotion and renunciation from the material world, and so we also develop knowledge of the material world, or spiritual knowledge. And as we develop the renunciation and knowledge, so we develop the knowledge about the different personalities and of everything, Sat or Asat, temporary or permanent, of everything in relation to Krishna. We come to know in the course of time. Like if I talk about myself, I also used to have this kind of thoughts, these kind of thoughts. Oh no, this is demigod temple. I will not there. I don't have to go. But now I understand. Now I cannot remain without paying them obeisances, but at the same time, keeping inner code of my heart for Krishna. When I'm paying obeisances to some demigod, it is simply the prayer that you are so sincerely, performing your duty. May I also be so, empowered that I also perform my duty of devotion, simply devotion. May you kindly grant me this devotion to Lord Krishna. If I have this desire, I can go to any temple of demigod. If I have material desires, I should not go anywhere. And virtually and gradually, by worshipping Krishna or by becoming devotee of Krishna, we will, in course of time, become devotee of all. Devotee of all means we will not offend them. Simply, there is no need, especially to spare some time and go to some Shiva temple or some other temple. There is no need at all. But if we happen to go somewhere where there is deity of Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma, or let's say Uma, or any other deity, then we are supposed to, pay respect there also. Otherwise, there is no need to go anywhere. Like there was confusion. People were keeping fast on Shivratris, but Prabhupada said no fasting. Why? Because so that people will otherwise they will remain confused. But there are some devotees in ISKCON also who are keeping fast on Shivratri. Maybe they have understood Siddhartha properly, and maybe their purpose is to ask for benediction like Ananya Bhakti, unalloyed devotion to Krishna. That's why they are keeping fast of Krishna, Shiva, so they can do it so. But Prabhupada has said, no confusion. Simply chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So we have simply one mantra and one deity, Krishna and Hare Krishna. That's all. Nothing else, Madhuri.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu, for that clarification because there are certain it when I transitioned to bhakti, I felt overwhelmed by it because they because you hear many things that Prabhupada says, oh, bhakti is simple, and then oh, we lied, it's actually the process is like this, so but when I transitioned to being a Shaivite, I would call myself like someone said, listen, if you didn't ask for any material boon from Lord Shiva, what he would give you is bhakti. So I mean, it felt true for me because I didn't really ask him for a lot of material things, and so it led me to bhakti. But sometimes it felt kind of like an imposter syndrome, like it felt the transition was a little bit like challenging because I felt so fake and like an imposter that I feel like I'm cheating, and then you feel that resonance and energy.
Prabhupada said one thing, devotion is very easy. It's very simple, provided we don't make it complicated. And Prabhupada simply said, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So as much time we have, we simply try to intensify and increase and magnify our chanting.
Yes,
Simply.
Prabhu.
And nothing else. There is no need to, get confused or go here and there. Simply by chanting and proper association of the pure devotees, Vaishnavas. And Chetan Mahaprabhu also said one thing, Bahu Sastri Bahuvaki Chitte Brahma hai, Sadhe Sadhan Shresh Na hai Nishchay. If we hear from many places, if we hear too many, if we read too many scriptures, then for sure we are going to get confused. There was Tapan Misra, a Brahmin, and he was hearing from so many sources and he was reading so many scriptures, but he was confused about what should be the goal of life and what should be the process of attaining that goal. Somebody prescribed him, you go to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this thing, Bahu Sastri, Bahu Vakya, Chitte Brahma hai. If you hear from many sources, if you read so many scriptures, for sure you will get confused. Therefore, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Only chanting. Only chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, associating with devotees, reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nothing beyond for us. Because we don't have that much of time as you say on your own, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhu, the Hare Krishna
Okay.
mantra will purify us. Prabhuji, thank you so much for the clarification and for the focus. I appreciate you. Hare Krishna.
Well, okay, thank you all devotees. Maybe no more questions.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for wonderful question and answer session, Prabhu. Devotees, if anybody have any other questions you'd like to ask for Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Krishna Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class and very nice question and answer. Thank you so much for your
Thank you,
association.
Mataji, for giving me opportunity to enlighten myself by being among you devotees all and by getting your valuable association. Thank you so much. Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. All glories to Granthara BHAGAVATAM. All glories to Sri.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
if nobody have any question, can we end the call here? Paying obeisances to Prabhu. Prabhuji, thank you so much for your very enlightening class, Prabhu. We are very grateful to you. And we look forward for your association again and again, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa
Sindhubhyo
sindhubhyo
cha patitanam
patitanam
pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
vaishnavebhyo namo
vaishnavebhyo
namaha.
namo Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Bhagavatam
jai,
ki
Srila
jai.
Prabhupada ki jai, His Grace
Jai.
Haridas Thakur Prabhuji ki jai.
Ki
Jai, jai.
jai.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
everyone for joining today's class. We'll meet